Hello everyone, I am Maria and today I am flying to Lyon, one of the most underrated cities in France. If you like authentic places, amazing food and charming streets, this video is for you. If you are new here, just hit this follow button because more travel videos are coming soon. Flying from Warsaw to Lyon takes just 2 hours. The closer I get, the more excited I am to explore this city, and trust me, it's really surprised me.
Also, stay until the end of this video and I will give you a step-by-step guide to save 20 euros for your next travel. The distance between the airport and Lyon city center is about 30 kilometers. I checked. A taxi costs around 35 euros, while public transport is around 18. And the best part, both options take about the same time. I am not fan of overpaying and I wasn't in a rush, so I choose public transport. First, you just follow the signs to the train station. It's about a 7 minutes walk. You will need to buy a ticket at one of the machines, but don't worry, it's super easy and there are English instructions too. When I reached the platform, security checked my bag, the conductor checked tickets, and my cost 17.10 euros by the way. The train itself was new, clean and very comfortable, and yes, it had air conditioning, which felt amazing because it was 32 degrees Celsius in Lyon that day. So bright, so hot, but honestly, I already love it. If you know me, you know I live for this kind of weather. Almost there. I had just enough time for a quick bite. Yes, that little airport fast hit the spot. Then it was time to grab my bag and head to the metro. If you need help buying a metro ticket, look for staff in red shirts near the machines. They are super friendly and always ready to assist. Or you can just do it yourself. It's pretty simple. Let me show you how it works. And one more thing, don't throw this card away, it's reusable and rechargeable, so you can top it up for future metro rides. I took the metro from here to there, just 9 stops and around 14 minutes. As you probably saw, the metro tickets cost 2.30 euros, so in total I spent 18.40 euros to get from the airport to the city center. Let me know in the comments, would you do the same or take a taxi instead? I'm curious. I started my adventure in Lyon right here. This area is packed with elegance, history and energy. Right behind me is a city hall, Hotel de Ville, one of the most iconic landmarks in Lyon, built back in the 17th century. And just across the square is the Opera de Lyon, a stunning mix of classic architecture and modern design. This whole part of the city is full of the contrast, all faces, modern rooftops, cozy cafes and lively streets. If it's your first time in Lyon, this is the perfect place to begin.
First impression, like it's perfect blend of modern life and old world charm. So let's explore.
Just a few steps from the opera, I ended up at Place de Terre. Right in the center is the stunning Bartholdi fountain, made by the same artist who created the Statue of Liberty. Cool, right? It was still too early to check into my Airbnb. I decided to keep walking, explore a bit more and obviously look for something to eat. Lyon isn't huge, around 500,000 people live here, but it feels so alive. And honestly, I was surprised by how many tourists I saw. It's also one of the oldest cities in France, sitting right where the Rhone and the Saône rivers meet. The location made Lyon a major trade hub way back in Roman times, when it was known as Lugdunum. And here is a fun fact I didn't expect. Lyon is actually the birthplace of cinema. The Lumiere brothers shot the world's first motion picture right here and even held the first public screen. I visited the Cinema and Miniature Museum too, but is it actually worth it? Well, I'll tell you in the next video, so hit subscribe if you are curious. And yes, it was hot, so I stopped for a super refreshing lemonade and finally ordered myself a proper lunch. Also, just a quick tip for those visiting France. Tap water is free in restaurants, so don't be shy. If you're thirsty, just ask for a tap water and they will bring you a jug of water, no charge. You're welcome. Since I hadn't eaten all day, it was time to treat myself to something very nice. I went with the dish of the day. No clue what it was, but hey, sometimes you just trust the chef and hope for the best. And what showed up on my plate? Well, I definitely wasn't expecting that.
So today I'm trying this dish. It is a dish of the day. I don't know. I just picked that in this restaurant.
It looked amazing and tasted even better. I'm pretty sure it was pork slow cooked with herbs. There were crispy fries, grilled zucchini, a slide of ratatouille, and a Swedish red pepper sauce. Or maybe I'm wrong. Either way, it worked perfectly with the meat. Honestly, I really enjoyed this dish, and if you are a meat lover, I would definitely recommend this place. One thing I have noticed about the French, they really know how to enjoy their food or drinks. That's their charm. Slow living, long conversation, and just watching life go by from the cafe terrace. And yes, everyone smokes, like literally everyone. I don't, so the smell kind of followed me everywhere. The portion was huge, way too much for me, but I'm sure the average man would handle it just fine. The whole thing with the lemonade cost 24.50 euros. What do you think? Is it a lot or pretty fair? The place is called Josefina, located here. Trust me, they will feed you really well here. After that big lunch, I needed to walk a little, and honestly, this spot was just too pretty not to stop for a few photos. The light, the colors, the quiet little street, everything just feels so cinematic. I will leave the location here on the screen in case you want to find it too. But on my way to check into my Airbnb, I randomly came across this little vintage shop. And well, I'm in France, the fashion capital, right? Of course, I had to go in. The place is called Vintage Elephant Store. I will put the address right here on the screen. There were racks full of sweaters, retro coats, sunglasses, boots, vintage denim, and belts everywhere. And then I found a Dolce & Gabbana belt just for 35 euros. It was one of the older models, and even thought I didn't find the one for me. This place is still 100% worth checking out, because let's be honest, with vintage you never know what treasure you will find. And hey, if you know any other cool spots for vintage or secondhand, drop them in the comments. I'm also planning to visit one of the most popular outlets here soon, but I will save that for the next video, so stay tuned. Well, shall we finally go check in? So, prices for accommodation in Lyon are actually pretty decent. We paid a fair amount for this studio in the very heart of the city. It's officially rated as a 4.5-star tourist apartment, and it sounds amazing on paper, but let me show you how it actually feels. The entrance, dark and kind of creepy, the building itself old, dusty, and not exactly what you imagine when booking a charming studio in center. The apartment is on the 3rd floor and there is no elevator. So yeah, get ready for a bit of workout. The spiral staircase is narrow and honestly not very safe, especially if you're wearing heels. Girls, consider this a friendly warning. When we finally stepped into the apartment, well, it wasn't quite what we imagined. The space looked okay at first glance, but definitely needed a proper cleaning. The bed was large, but the mattress felt old. I think it's time for a replacement. The towels were grey, the bathroom shelf was rusty, and there was a washing machine, but we didn't have a chance to test it. The kitchen thought was actually not bad. It has a fridge, a microwave, and even some basic spices ready to use, which I thought was a nice touch. I will also show you the bathroom once again. It had a shower cabin, not super new, but functional. Now, here is something we didn't expect at all. If you are planning to stay in Lyon, I would really recommend looking for accommodation on the other side of the river, especially in this zone. Why? Because this area was so noisy. Once we go out, we realized we were starving, so we went out hunting for a good place to eat. And honestly, it took longer than we expected. We walked a lot, checked Google Maps, paced a bunch of places, but honestly, nothing really catched. But then, finally, we found the one. It looked cozy, smells amazing, and the food, oh wow! We had such a good dinner there. I knew right away I had to recommend it. So, if you are looking for a perfect dinner spot in Lyon, I have got you covered. In my next video, I will tell you everything: the location, prices, what we ordered, and whatever it's really worth. So, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like if you enjoy hanging out with me today. See you in my next video. But wait a minute, I forgot to tell you something very important.
If you are interested in 20 euro promo code for your next flight, find me on Instagram and DM with this word.
Look how simple it is.
Bye!